Okay, so Fire's gonna leave. Yeah, Miles still shows up. So even though Miles joined me, she still betrayed us.
So, Glenbrook, they must gather us.
I saw what they brought in from the...
So you know
Enough secret.
to use those to free the people.
By which you mean the strong.
I will not, though it is at least far more human to struggle for one's own survival. People have the right, just as you.
How long have you known of the salt crystal's existence?
I learned ancient as you.
You.
Spare me your...
I heard all that happened from the Wolfforts. They were there when he drew his last breath.
Oh, he does comment on it.
Act the fool, and you shall be revealed as one Gustadolf. Dragan oversaw the mine. It only stands to reason that he would have discovered the salt crystals first. So you, in your greed, had him killed. Not only that, but you used him.
Huh. You have an admirable... Your son was quite...
What do you mean?
You know very well what I... Who else do you think? Yet he refused to hand them. And your son's scheming didn't. He offered them salt crystals in exchange for...
Lies. All
House Wolffort fed you a fairy tale. And you gobbled it right up, because it aligned with what you wanted to believe. Uncle. Now as Glenbrook now knows, we must make ready.
What would you have me do?
The death knell is do that.
Very well.
There is no time. A war to end.
Okay. Let's see if this works now. I just want to confirm that we're gonna get it. So if you talk to Svarog and reveal the truth to him, he'll actually reveal to talk about what they told him to Gustav as well.
Deep in the grand...
Interesting.
Unexpected though it may be, the salt crystals...
Careful. This isn't...
Okay.
Ah, Milo has sent a dispatch from Glenbrook, deep within the Grand Rosalian mines.
Impossible.
The discovery of salt outside the source explains...
Yeah.
Hyzant has learned of the salt crystals. Minister Exham. Elsewhere, Gustadolf amasses his own force. All eyes are on Glenbrook, where Roland, after much deliberation, Roland makes his way to Castle.
appreciate you coming all this way, Roland.
I was the one who asked for your time.
And I would hear your decision.
I've long pondered over the... I thought back on the Salt Iron War. Each nation still thinks only of itself. But who bears the brunt of...
The people.
Exactly so.
And yet without that wealth...
This much is obvious, but there can be no winner without a loser.
And how do you propose we achieve... No. No, surely you don't mean...
Yes. The goddess's teachings. All can live as equals under the goddess. The model nation was in front of us all along, Serenoa. I have decided that we must give the salt crystals and the...
And in so doing, you'll give...
Exactly. There will be no more squabbling over salt.
Unequal peace, surely. One built on the backs of a people like the Roselle, if not the Roselle themselves.
I am not blind to that fact. But so few will... Nothing in this world is the sacrifice of the few for the good.
Submitting to the goddess will...
So be it. My crown. My pride.
You are truly prepared.
Join me, Serenoa.
Roland, this is...
I understand. I expect Frederica will want nothing to do with this plan. But I shall not be swayed.
Okay, these are all the same.
I trust you understand what a monumental effect.
Ally with Esper. From whence this somber tone?
All Norzelia could be...
Treason!
Of course not.
I told you not to...
But you did not tell me.
I've heard enough.
Just know that I will do... I pray that you make the right choice. But for yourself.
He says that he's gonna, he says that he'll follow you no matter what, but he actually doesn't. If you side with Frederica, then he abandons you.
Have you reached a decision, lad?
Alas, no. I know not which is the righteous path.
You know I'll follow you down whatever path you choose. We'll fight who we have to fight together. And as long as it's just a single battle ahead of us, we gotta win in strategy. If we lure the enemy here, that is.
What do you mean?
This village has a deadly secret, lad, for times such as this. You see the aqueducts all around, don't you? They can be filled with oil just as well as water. We can lure the enemy in, trap them, and then set whole plots of...
There it is. They're referencing again.
How terrible. To think such a death trap lay hidden in plain sight.
I only found out from Benedict the other day myself.
Oh! Huh.
All you need to do is hit one of the hawk statuettes. That'll spring a fence up around the area and set the oil alight.
So they're referencing the
The fence will keep him in, and the fire will do him in.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, they cleared out the spot too.
The village with it. Truly a last resort.
Aye. And I understand why your father and Benedict chose to keep it from you. But I'm not telling you just for your edification. If you think it necessary, don't hesitate to use it.
Thank you, Ardor. I shall take your words to heart, though I pray I never need to act upon them.
Yeah, and we because we gave up Roland, we didn't follow that. I was worried about this because I heard that originally I heard you had to accept Roland, but then I heard that you didn't have to. So this time I gave up Roland because I took Roland the previous time. So I just wanted to make sure that we did this right. I think we did it right. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we got this.
You are certain Hyzan's army marches for the Grand Norzelian mines?
There is no doubt.
They've heard word of the crystals.
It was only a matter of time. We knew this.
Esfrost's army gathers at Twinsgate as well.
War's breaking out over this thing, and we've got to be ready.
How will Glenbrook respond, King Roland?
There's no need to prepare for war. I have decided that we will surrender the salt crystals to the holy state of Hyzant.
What?
Furthermore, I hereby declare that the kingdom of Glenbrook and its people shall submit to the goddess and her teachings. There is no way to bring happiness to all Norzelia with the salt crystals. Which is why I have chosen a path that will allow the greatest number of people to live in equality and harmony.
How could you? Do you not see that Hyzant's dominion over Norzelia's salt is why we are in conflict already? Is the suffering of the Roselle not proof enough that the goddess's vaunted equality is a lie?
She speaks the truth, my king. Handing over the salt crystals is tantamount to giving Hyzant's goddess free reign of Norzelia. Will you so readily surrender the realm to the Hierophant?
I acknowledge the abdication of my kingdom and kingship alike. A small price to pay in my eyes. In exchange for the security and prosperity of the many.
And the sacrifice of the Roselle, is that a small price to you?
It is.
How could you say such a thing to my face?
I, for one, oppose. I would prefer to ally with Esfrost and strike back at Hyzant. The salt deposits within the mines give us the leverage we need to convince Gustadolf to join us.
Ally with Esfrost? You dare suggest we ally with the man who murdered my father?
I see no reason why we should not. You proposed abdicating the throne for the sake of the kingdom and its people, so you should have no trouble putting aside your own feelings and judging this matter dispassionately.
I cannot believe my own ears. I will not have you lecture me on feelings when it is not your father he murdered.
None of you can see beyond your own grievances. It's no wonder my people have suffered for generations. We're told to believe in the goddess, while our own lives are thrown away to make a few more grains of your precious salt. And now, even with proof that the goddess is a lie, you would watch us dig our own graves for your comfort.
Lady Frederica, please. We shall speak of the Roselle in due time.
No, I've heard that before. Your due time is never, and I will not have you cast us aside for another 3 decades or more. All else is in disarray. If Hyzant seizes the salt crystals, we forfeit the best opportunity in decades to free my people. We know the truth. We must act upon it. We must be a light in the darkness.
We cannot afford to dilute our forces when the enemy marches on us as we speak.
So we are a distraction to you?
I am merely being rational. Liberating the Roselle would be extremely dangerous. We cannot take such a risk. Suppose we succeed. How do you propose we fend off the fury Hyzant will rain down upon us?
Esfrost would pounce on us, sensing weakness at the undue burden we've taken upon ourselves.
Precisely. We would be without allies and ripe for the taking.
There is another way.
And what, pray tell, would that be?
We set out alongside the Roselle in search of Centralia.
Centralia is a myth.
The legends of my people are true.
I care not one whit if they are. I will hear no talk of forsaking the Wolffort domain.
Silence! I have heard enough to know where each of you stand. Do you all hold the courage of your own convictions?
I do.
Nothing I've heard here has swayed me.
I feel the same.
Very well. I would ask for some time to think on the matter.
This is it.
I understand each of you keenly, my friends. You have not arrived at these decisions lightly, and I do not doubt your convictions. Yet choosing any of the options before me risks creating a schism among the others. I cannot afford to lose any of you. Not after how far we've come, which leaves me only one option.
There must be another way.
Nay, I mustn't give in so readily. There must be another way. One that will bind us together, not tear us asunder. Now then, to find it. Certainties first. We cannot afford to relinquish control of the salt crystals to any one nation. Salt necessarily belongs to the people, and on that point I shall not waver. There must be a way to bring about the lasting peace Roland desires without the need for Hyzant's warped teachings. Hyzant moves to take the Grand Norzelian mines as I contemplate this. It must be stopped. They will no doubt make an ostentatious show of power in an attempt to intimidate us. What's worse, they'll soon be at our door, and we will not defeat them with our army alone. Surely there's a way we can hold them off.
The Wolffort domain's wildfire.
The wildfire, of course! We'll draw them into the village and set the vast majority of their forces alight. The Hierophant will never relent, however. Hyzant will bear down on us with the full force of their army. We've no chance of winning a protracted war. Hyzant must fall, and quickly. We need Esfrost. We need the Death Snow. 'Tis the only way we'll pierce the goddess's shield. I hardly relish the thought of asking Gustadolf to come to our aid. He'll no doubt demand the salt crystals in return. Who might help us get our hands on that weapon?
Lord Svarog.
Lord Svarog, yes. He swore to fight alongside us. It's time he made good on his word. We share a common enemy in Gustadolf. He'll be a boon. There is still the matter of how we invade Hyzant and incite the Roselle to rebel. Yes! We'll blast away the statue and reveal Hyzant's lies for all to see. If the Rosellan legends are true, an enormous pillar of salt rests within the goddess's statue. Revealing that will prove that the Roselle spoke truth all these years. Goddess and Hierophant alike will lose all claim to authority, leaving them open to a revolt from a united Roselle. And now we have the means to make the explosives that will bring Hyzant to its knees. Just one problem remains. How will we manage to pass through the goddess's shield? No banner could pass into Hyzant without arousing suspicion. Unless...
The Consortium.
Unless they've no banner at all. The Consortium, of course. One glimpse of the salt crystals ought to bring Claris to the table. So long as I play to his self-interest, the rest will follow.
It's funny how in Bangtan we actually fought Claris, but now we're actually looking for his aid.
I have it. I've found a way to give everyone what they want most in one fell swoop. The salt crystals will belong to all, and not just a privileged few. The people of Norzelia will finally be lords and ladies of their own making, masters of their own destinies. Benedict's fervent desire to protect the domain's integrity, Roland's yearning for equity, Frederica's resolve to free her people. I hear you all, my friends. You're not alone. nor are the countless others who look to me at this late hour. If ever there were a time to heed my father's last words, it is now. I must forge my own path and lead my people. The scales cannot save us this time. The words of my closest confidants have revealed a way forward that the scales never could. All that remains is to convince them to follow me down the path I have made. As Lord of House Wolffort, I solemnly swear an oath by which all future lords shall be bound. I
Wow.
will never turn my back on the promise of a better world.
If Greaves could passion more, if Greaves could passion move? Oh, if Greaves could passion move. Okay.